Project Starcode, Chapter 2. Marvin reviewed the mission reports with furrowed brows as the agents trickled back from their recent astral expedition. Their accounts of bizarre alien dimensions and far-flung celestial bodies brimmed with wide wonder, almost childlike naivete. He reminded himself, for many, these journeys into the astral planes awakened their first true taste of the sublime, flooding their perceptual worlds with awe. Of course, some giddiness was to be expected. Even he recalled those initial heart-pounding revelations upon unlocking the codex's interdimensional secrets. Still, details were missing, procedures overlooked. In their zeal, his teams acted increasingly like tourists on holiday rather than guardians of a profound responsibility. The cosmic forces they now tapped were profound, not playthings granting pleasure jaunts. Marvin stood, clearing his throat. While your enthusiasm is understandable, our primary duty remains exploration and intelligence gathering. This Starcode project derives from military funding, not grants for galactic romps. Chastened, heads nodded. Marvin clasped his hands, speaking gently. I don't mean to diminish the wonder, only to remind you, we walk between worlds now, pioneers mapping uncharted seas. That demands discipline. Dismissed. As the agents filed out, Marvin pondered how to balance rigorous control with individual transformation. The stars called to them for a purpose, one he must help all navigate with care. First, he needed more insight. Marvin's astral form rippled into being amongst the breathtaking spires and monuments of the distant planet Osiris IV. This was clearly an Egyptian world, rich with pyramids, temples, and a thriving population of bald-headed, elegant humanoids bearing the unmistakable aspect of pharaohs. Striding towards Marvin from a large golden throne was the imposing figure of Pharaoh Akhmenre. On Earth he was third of his dynasty. Marvin knew well this ruler's imposing earthbound likeness guarding his namesake's tomb. Could his soul have resurrected across the stars? Kneeling respectfully, Marvin was bade. You trespass in the divine court of Pharaoh Akhmenre. The imposing ruler bellowed. Though commoner from backward worlds may gaze upon my royal visage. Guards flanked the shocked Marvin as Akhmenre continued. For millennia we selected hominid subjects on this planet, breeding a supplicant race of workers, warriors, and artisans to stand as avatars shaped in Heliopolis' image. Through multiple incarnations we have sown our lordly seed amongst the fallow minds of this fertile race, reaping a bounty of loyal vassals honed for our every noble purpose. With a dismissive flick of his golden staff, scintillating portals swirled open. Away with you, away. By the divine decree invest in me as Ra has given me. I expel thee from the exalted dimensions. May the eternal abyss between the stars swallow thy insolent essence. Marvin felt himself pulled into the raging wormhole, reality blurring sickeningly around him. As his tether stretched thinner, he screamed with both body and soul, but the Pharaoh merely watched with cold impassivity as the vortex's power transported Marvin further into the void with crushing force. Spinning into the empty vastness, Marvin briefly perceived glittering galaxies receding all around him. Then suddenly, violently, he felt his astral form slammed back into his physical shell. Bolting upright and gasping for air, Marvin awoke in his terrestrial body, once more bound by mortal constraints. But in those brief moments beyond, he now grasped humanity's tiny place in a cold cosmos ruled by powerful beings who saw mankind as insects. Stunned by this revelation of their insignificance amongst the stars, Marvin wept for all the naivety and opportunity lost. Still reeling from his traumatic expulsion from the astral realm by the powerful Pharaoh, Marvin briefed his superior at the Bureau of Astral Travel on the dire encounter. This Akhmenre possesses the power to exile souls to the cold oblivions between galaxies, Marvin urgently warned. Our psychic teams are vulnerable, traversing realms now clearly marked with ancient no trespass edicts. The Bureau chief's face was grim. Then it's clear humanity is but primitive apes tampering with forces beyond our current evolution. He deactivated the vault's encryption locks and sealed the codex away from staff, enclosing the arcane tome within a phase-shifting force field. I am suspending all outstanding soul projection missions effective immediately. He announced to howls of protests. As of today, Project Starcode and all codex-assisted operations are banned by executive order. Flanked by armed guards, the chief locked down the quantum chamber himself, securing mankind's only link to the stars. He clasped Marvin's shoulder in consolation. I'm sorry, son, but one day we may mature sufficiently to reopen this occultist Pandora's box. As personnel filed out of the barred laboratory, only Marvin lingered, gazing wistfully at the ripple-trapped book hovering silently beyond touch or thought. Yet he knew now the frightening power throbbing within those cryptic pages. Turning his back, Marvin dimmed the lights, the cosmic keys once more remanded to yesterday's dreams and tomorrow's unanswered prayers echoing in the dark.